Oh, okay.
um,
Hope you feel better soon.
yeah, yeah.
You look
No,
fantastic.
it's just that I've always had a low back issue, but it's hard to kind of. Sometimes you just tend to push and go over, and the problem is that you don't realize it that you've gone over until
Right.
later. Until later, when you relax and you kind of try to get up and you're like, ooh, there's something went wrong here, So that's the trick. Um, so I think we should start. Let's join your palms, neck and spine erect. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Realize that we are breathing, conscious realization. Breath is going in and it's coming out, unmanipulated. And from the breath, we'll move down to the thighs. Instruct the thighs internally to relax. Let it all go. Move up to the torso and relax your torso. Relax the chest, relax the shoulders. Feel the gentle press of your hands against each other. Relax your neck. Relax the crown of the head. Relax the scalp all over your head. Relax your forehead. Relax the cheeks. And relax your eyelids, your eyeballs, the nose, the lips. And finally, let the tongue settle down in the mouth. Relax all the tension in the tongue. We'll say Omkar. Now we're going to take a conscious deep breath with Ujjayi. So constrict your epiglottis and breathe in deep. Sarvepi sukhina santu, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhamapnuyat. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano bhunaktu sah veeryam karvavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Drop your palms and gently rest the soft of the palm on your eyelids, just gently. Let the fingers drop on the head, forehead, and look deep inside the Chidakash. Okay, so today being the third Sunday, we're going to do Yin Yoga today. And what that really means is we're going to hold the poses for a long time. And it could be 4 to 5 minutes holding each pose and engaging the mind in the process of engaging the body at the same time. And this could be a very meditative exercise. It's interesting to see how the body sort of settles and relaxes and goes deeper into the position as you relax. And you have to constantly be aware at the same time of what the mind and body system is doing, and realize that there will be pain, okay? But be mindful that the pain needs to be pleasurable, not acute. And if you ever get any kind of acute pain, please don't push yourself to that limit. Even I don't do that. So, but sometimes accidentally you do tend to do it. So know your limits beforehand and in a particular pose, how far you can go. The idea here is not to go deep, but to hold it. And you hold it consciously and sort of do the mental exercise with me as I'm giving instructions. And then we'll time all of that with the phone. If you guys have timers, you can turn them on, or I just call it like 4 minutes or 3 minutes, and we'll decide which pose we're going to hold longer, which not that longer. So what I suggest is, if you have a chair, I think we'll use the chair. If you have the stick and a belt, I think all these three pops, I think if you have them ready, please use them. I might land up using them because I don't premeditate my class. So whatever comes in the moment is what happens today. All right. So let's get up and do a little bit of stretching before, not quite warm up, but just basically stretching yourself and just, getting the body ready to be in the poses. Okay, there we go. It's better. Okay. Stand with your feet together on your mat and twist the left leg from the heel just about 30 degrees, and then put the left leg out completely so that you have about 8 or 9 inches between, which is sort of your hip distance. Clasp your hands and stretch the hands out and breathe in. Breathe in with Ujjayi, press your epiglottis and go up. And stretch. And exhale and come down. Very good. And then breathe in, stretch, breathe in as you go up. And this time see if you can rise in your toes. stretch, 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 and look straight ahead and come down. Breathe out as you go. Very good. Now, we'll do Tiriyaki Tadasan. So spread your fingers wide apart as though they're like really stretched. And then from your hips, move them up and connect with your biceps and your earlobes. Connect them at the ears. And look straight ahead. And then exhale and go to the left side. And inhale and exhale as you go to the right side. And inhale and go to the left side. Now spread the legs apart. And we're going to do this a little bit in a dynamic way, as though there is a huge storm and the tree is really going crazy. So keep your hands stretched out, your fingers stretched out, and blow. Okay, let's do the same thing in the forward direction. Exhale. Inhale, go backward. Exhale. Very good. Put your hands on your waist, feet about 2.5 feet apart based on your height. So see what is more comfortable to you. Spread your arms and twist. Very good. Okay. And put your hands on the waist and bend forward from the hips. Bend, 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 bend. Come to almost 90 degrees and put your hands down. Spread your feet apart a little bit more. And see if we can do the same dynamic exercise. See if you can touch the left toe and touch the right toe. Very good. Okay, come back. Feet where they were, a little bit closer. I have about 18 inches between my feet, and then you go hula hoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wonderful. Okay, I think that should be good for our warm up today. We haven't jogged or we didn't do the typical exercises, but I think today it is okay because we're going to do yin poses mostly. So we will start with our Surya Namaskar poses and in the beginning, and we'll see how we can convert some of them into Yin Yoga poses. So I'm going to start my timer. So if you have a stick, please grab it and put it ahead like this, about arm's length apart from you. And we're going to bend forward. So normally we start the Surya Namaskar with the backward bend. You can't hold that for too long. It's not advisable because it will drive your heart pressure up, blood pressure up. So here we're going to go into Samakonasana. And the farther the stick, the better. And you come to a 90-degree pose. And see if you can tuck your head inside and maintain your biceps into the earlobes connection, and let's hold it. Now, when you're holding it, relax your back. Instruct your back to completely relax. When you hold this pose for some time, you can grab the stick kind of with enough pressure so that the hand doesn't just slide off. So you're not really using the stick to kind of lean on, but you're using it as an alignment and an aid to aligning things so that you know that you're at 90 degrees. And you're forming a nice square with the stick, with your hands, and with your legs. Okay, there you go. And then stretch your back. So what you're doing is you're pushing the stick away from you and pulling your butts in that direction. Okay, hands go in that direction. So stretch your arms completely and push your butts away and get a nice stretch, a wonderful stretch in your back. And at the same time, see if you can instruct the back to relax. So it will form a nice catenary arch. So the back will sort of form this catenary curve, if you will. Think that every vertebrae is sort of a pearl necklace, sort of. Imagine that in your head, and you're wearing that on your neck. And that necklace has a natural curve with the gravitational pull, and it gives you that beautiful parabolic curve that's called the catenary, and form that beautiful catenary. Even if you can imagine that in your head, that's what your back is doing, it will relax it. The goal here is to hold and relax the body. And when the body relaxes, it cooperates better in the yogasana. Many a times what happens is we try to push the body, we kind of think that we are sort of the masters of the body. We try to overpower it, conquer it. But that's not yoga. That's just a physical exercise. Yoga is about the union between the mind, body, and your spirit and your soul. And they're all equal. They're all in their own places and they do their jobs very well. So respect the body and go with it and relax. So we are here for about 3.5 minutes. We'll stop at 4. And just hold and relax and close your eyes if you feel like meditating in this pose. Wonderful. Okay, and then gently come up. And I'm going to reset. Now, take the stick and hold it like this. And put your hands outside. So the stick goes between the back and the elbows. And we'll do the similar exercise again without the stick. But now what we're doing is we're using the weight of the hands to sort of push the back in the catenary curve. So see what happens. So when I start bending, my hands are putting weight on the stick. And the stick is pushing the back in the upward direction, the downward direction. And then lift your head up at the same time, which will help to form the catenary. Now this time it is going to be a little bit harder on your hamstrings, on your low back. So just listen to your body and relax your hands here. The more you'll relax, the more pressure they're going to put on the stick, the more pressure on the stick, the more pressure on the back. And it gives this beautiful curve. Okay, so look up and look straight ahead. If you don't have the stick, you can do this in the normal Samakonasana by putting your hands straight out. We'll stay here for 2 minutes maximum and then go to the next pose. So the Yin Yoga is, to be honest, I mean, if you read Iyengar, you will realize that his way of teaching and holding the poses is perhaps the most beneficial thing to the body and the mind. Mainly because when you hold the pose, the blood gushes to these areas where you're feeling the most heat, and it takes away the toxins and it increases the blood flow. All right, we can stop here. And then we're going to go into the next pose, which is Natraj. So we'll see how far we can hold that. Okay, so put your stick out and take your right foot and slide the stick away and see if you can grab the left foot at the ankle. Now you can grab it from the outside or you can grab it from the inside. Inside is a little bit more difficult. So whatever you feel comfortable with, you can do it and gently use the stick. And if you can do it without the stick, that is also fine. And then see if you can kick. Don't push it too much because we have to hold this, all right? So let's not try to see how far you can go. It's not about that. It's about how long you can hold it. So whatever is your final capacity, hold it a couple of notches below that and look straight ahead or look down, whatever keeps your balance. And relax. So these poses are more of a mental challenge because your body is stretching and relaxing and the pain sort of intensifies after a few seconds. And then the mind is basically trying to rescue the body out of the pose. And then that is where you have to just dispassionately observe the mind and body. Just observe the mind and body. And that is where you go beyond the mind and body. Okay, so here we go. We put the stick out and take the right leg and stretch it. And you will find that one of the legs is going to be a little bit difficult because we are not used to using, whether it depends on the dexterity. If you're left-sided or right-sided, it all depends on that. So you can, what I learned is you can give a little bit of twist to the feet down there. That increases your potential to maintain the balance. If you keep your foot exactly straight, then I find it's a little difficult. So, all right, here we go. And push that, push that, push that. And relax. Wonderful. Okay. So we did that. All right, reset. Now, if you have the chair, so we are going to do right now mostly standing and stretching exercises. So those who attended Sushilji's class yesterday for the chair, he demonstrated how to do the Adho Mukha Svanasana. And that's another Iyengar technique of elongating and stretching your body. So the way I do it is a little bit different, but it's very, very similar. Okay, so here we go. We start there, you stand, And then you put both your hands, only the palms, on the edges of the chair, and so that your thumbs are on it, and you move back and spread your feet apart a little bit. All right. Now this is supposed to be done on in a studio where you have sort of a wooden floor or some kind of slippery floor. And what that does, it kind of glides the chair in that direction slowly, 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 and it elongates your back. Okay, so here we go. My chair is getting pushed a little bit. So, and then at the same time, you have to straighten your feet, your legs, and that's going to put pressure. I mean, stretch on your hamstrings, and it's going to go like this kind of catenary kind of curve on your back. And you're holding the chair only for support. You're not basically you're not putting a lot of weight on the chair. The weight is all on the foot. So what they say is the Adho Mukha Svanasana needs to be more of a leg exercise than of a hand exercise. That takes a long time. So here we go. We're holding the chair just for the support. We're gently resting our hands on it, but we're stretching the hamstrings fully and relax here. Relax. Bring your attention to your breath and watch the mind. See what the tricks the mind starts to play with you. As you hold longer and longer, the mind will start, after about 30 seconds, the mind will start trying to wiggle inside. It is going to be restless inside. And you just observe that as a game. You observe the restlessness of the mind. And there is nothing to be done. Let's get all the doership out of the yoga, because that only develops ego. Ego is just going to be strengthening of the I. And I'm the doer, I'm the one who's doing it. And all that doership just goes away in a split second when you just observe and see if you can pull your tummy in, exhale and pull the tummy in. And take a deep breath, pull the tummy in, exhale as you go, pull it, pull the tummy in and relax. And pull the tummy in again and relax. There you go. Wonderful. So you will probably realize that the hamstrings are really getting all heated up. And okay, so that should be good. You come out of the pose and put your right foot up and stand up. There you go. We were almost here for 4 minutes or more. Okay, now we're going to do the same pose with Prasarita Pada. Okay, so what we're going to do is put the chair here and spread your feet apart. Spread as much as you can so that you are comfortable. And put your hands on the waist. And then start bending forward from here. Start bending forward, 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 and get your chair. I'm sorry, the chair is in between me and the camera, but that should be okay, I guess. And I'm going to reset and start right here. Now, what you're going to do is instead of pushing it like this, what we're going to do is you're going to fold your arms and rest them on the chair. Fold your arms and rest them on the chair and put your forehead on your arms. And relax. And the trick to this thing is make sure your toes are pointing straight ahead. If you draw a line from the center of your big toe, it should meet the mat in a perpendicular angle. So your toes, you know then that the toes are straight. And by putting your forehead on your hands, you're basically relaxing your back, but you're also getting into a deeper stretch. So let me show you from the side angle. Okay, I'm going to put the chair here, and the only problem is I don't have enough grip on my foot, so I'm going to show this quickly. So you pull the chair, fold your arms and rest them, and then put your forehead on it. So this is a further extension of your hamstrings. Make sure you have firm grip on the ground and you're not going to slip away. And relax your breathing. Bring your entire attention. You can close your eyes here if you feel like doing that, or keep them open. And see how the back then starts extending and relaxing and going the other way because the gravity is trying to pull it down. Okay. So last month when we did the Yin Yoga, we did not use a chair or any of the props. And so this time I'm introducing them. So the first things we are going to do is elongation exercises, mostly because when you elongate, only then you can twist. And it has to be kind of in a sequence, because if you twist before you elongate, then you may hurt your spine. You may hurt and pull some muscles, which is really not the goal. So let's just go through this elongation exercises first. Okay, so let's stop here. We're about 3 minutes. Stop, come up and put your weight on the chair and then go this way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Adho Mukha Svanasana using the chair. So now you're going to face the back towards you. All right, face the back here. Now you're going to stand a little bit back like this, and it all depends on how high you are. So gauge what is the best for you guys over there, and put your hands on the seat here, and then bend forward and push your hips against the back. Okay, put your hips against the back right there. If you need to go a little bit further back, that's okay. All right, so make sure your hips land onto this so that all the load is going in that direction. Okay, so just be careful, so don't hurt yourself. All right, there we go. Those who do not have the chair, you can just do the normal Adho Mukha Svanasana, and then keep coming down, 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 and see if your chin can rest on the seat. Okay, now put your hand out and hand out and stay here. With your chin on the chair, hands down, and relax. So what the chair does, it doesn't allow the legs to kind of fold. It also ensures that your heels are touching the ground nicely. And this becomes a sort of a 90-degree pose between my legs and my torso. And it also, the chair ensures the alignment properly. Make sure your body is properly aligned. It disciplines the body. And here we go. So the goal here is to not put too much weight on the hands, but transfer the weight onto your legs, onto your feet. And that is the most difficult challenge in Adho Mukha Svanasana. And relax your back. Now shift your chin a little bit lower than the seat of the chair so that the edge of the chair is against your chin. You will have realized that your body has relaxed and you can go a little bit deeper. So see if you can spread your hands a little bit out there and go deeper into the position so that almost your chest is now touching the seat of the chair. And those who don't have the chair, don't despair. You can just do the normal Adho Mukha Svanasana. And we come out slowly, grab the legs of the chair, shift your weight up, put your right foot ahead, grab it, and then gently come up. Very cool. All right. So now I think we are done with elongating the back. Okay. So now we're going to do a little bit of the Surya Namaskar pose here, which is called the Ashwa Sanchalan, and see if we can so you come to the pose where you're almost going to go into this warrior pose 2, and put your hand here and then go down and put your left palm down and twist, curl your toes at the back, and then gently rest your knee, the hind knee, on the mat. And let's see. Okay. And then put both of your palms down. Make sure your right knee is in your right armpit. And look straight ahead. Now, we are not using any props. We are completely relying on the mind now to give instructions to the body to relax. So if you're here and you're kind of stressed out, what happens is if you relax the mind and the body, the hips will gently start pushing or falling or succumbing to the gravity, and they will slowly come to a point where they cannot go any beyond, and you just basically watch all that from inside. If you want to uncurl your toe at the back and then put it this way so that the sole of the foot is facing the sky, it's also fine. And stay here and observe. Look straight ahead. This asana works on your Ajna chakra. And Ajna chakra is the command center, is the third eye between the eyebrows, inside, where approximately your pineal gland is situated. So this activates the pineal gland, which normally sort of decays as you age. After the age of 14, the pineal gland basically has already decayed. And this is why you start early in the yoga and Surya Namaskar. And I remember as a kid, I was introduced by my grandfather at the age of 12 or 13 to start doing the Surya Namaskars. And now I understand why he did that. Because the Surya Namaskars, and this is one of the poses of the Surya Namaskar, that's why I'm talking about it, does something to the pineal gland and it revives it. And revival of the pineal gland increases your intuition. And the journey of the mankind is from instinct to the intuition, from the Muladhara chakra to your Agnya chakra to your Sahasrara chakra. So that's where the journey of the mankind happens. And this is where the third eye, the pineal gland, the Agnya chakra, they all kind of play the role. And the more intuitive you are, the better it is in spiritual world. And that might lead into clairvoyance at some point. And pranayam also kind of reinforces that goal. So here we go. We are here almost 3 minutes and 20 seconds. We're going to stay here for another half a minute. And you may have realized your left quad muscles are getting stretched. The groin area is getting stretched. And the deeper you go into this pose, the better it is. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. So to get out of the pose, be very gentle. Don't pull your left hamstring because as you come out, the hamstring is getting stretched. So just be mindful of that. And then come to a kneeling position. And we're going to put the left foot out now and do the opposite side. All right, so put the left foot out, form a nice 90-degree here as you go so that the shin is perpendicular to the mat. Put your right palm down and the left palm down. And we come back to Ashwa Sanchalan. Ashwa in Sanskrit is horse. And the way I interpret this is Ashwa Sanchalan. Sanchalan is basically trying to regulate something. It's trying to modify something, trying to tame something. And the wild horse, in my mind, is the mind that we have, which is wild inside. It is extremely primitive. The subconscious mind is the most primitive thing that we have. It has all the killer instincts, it has all the negative emotions, all, it's just a matter of scratching the surface and it erupts. Somebody says something and suddenly you lose the temperamental. It becomes a pathological condition sometimes when the subconscious is too powerful. And this is where we have to tame that horse. Focus on the breath. And look straight ahead. Ashwa Sanchalan. This is where we are training the mind to behave, training the mind to tell that in the most uncomfortable positions, it's still okay to be uncomfortable. It's all right. And this is where you learn in the real life, when you train the mind to be comfortable in the most uncomfortable positions, we can handle the life situations better. Someone says something, you get uncomfortable, and you just say, it's okay. It's not the question of life and death. It's not the fight and flight kind of response. So we're just trying to grow the mind psychologically. We're trying to evolve by able to bear the uncomfortable positions and relaxing it. So we purposely in yoga, we stimulate to the extent that we actually put the mind and the body in the discomfort. And that discomfort is to be observed dispassionately. Okay. All right. So I think we're almost 15 more seconds. And relax. Chill. Wonderful. Now, we're going to grab the chair again. And this time we're going to do some twisting. Now that we've done, so I'm going to bring the chair towards the computer and we're going to sit sideways. Okay, so how is the sideways? So first of all, okay, let's start with the front first. All right, so make sure you get 90 degrees here so that the feet are firmly grounded, and you sit erect. Push yourself back into the chair, maintain this 90 degrees, and grab the chair right here, okay? So that the feet are about hip width apart, knees are about hip width apart. Grab the center of the chair, and then take your left arm and grab the back side of the chair. All right, so I'm grabbing this, I'm grabbing the back side of the chair right here. And then I'm pulling with the left hand, and then release this hand and put it on your left knee on the outside, and see if you can twist. Make sure your spine is erect. Spine should be absolutely erect. And see if you can pull yourself in that direction, upward. So push your mid back in and rise so that you can twist. So what's happening is we are pulling and twisting. We're pulling and twisting. So that's why we did all the elongation exercises first. Okay, so that's the easy way to do this twist. And we'll go into the deeper position after that and relax. So the twists are not to be held for too long. And so you do stretching, you hold the stretching positions deeper and longer. But when it comes to twisting, you have to listen to your body. So grab the front edge of the chair, and then from behind, grab the back end of the seat. And see if you can, with your right hand, pull and get a nice grip there. At the same time, you're trying to go upward in that direction with your body. If you were to draw a straight line, it goes from here, from the shoulders to the ears and to the crown of the head. Okay, here we go. Foot. Now notice the difference. If I hold my hand this way versus holding my hand this way, see what the difference is. So first hold the hand this way on the right knee and try to twist. We'll stay here for half a minute. And breathe normally. And when I say breathe normally, it is uninterrupted, unmanipulated breath. Let the body do what it needs to do to get more oxygen. Now, turn your palm sideways and push against the knee and see if that made any subtle difference. It will be very subtle, but it's there. Okay, very good. And relax. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn sideways. So you're not turning the chair. Now what is happening here is this leg is going to be against that bar. All right. So when it is against that bar, it will lead you into a deeper position. So put your feet again the same way, getting nice 90 degrees here, and start. There you go. Now what I'm doing is I'm with the right hand, I'm going to grab this corner of the chair. All right, this corner. Just grab it like this. And then with the left hand, I'm going to push against this guy. This guy I'm going to push. This guy I'm going to pull towards me. All right, so grab it. And then with this, you push. With the left hand, you're pushing against the back. With the right hand, I'm pulling the back. And keep the back straight. Rise and twist. Rise and twist. Rise and twist. And you will realize that the left thigh is being restricted by the chair and it cannot move any further to the left side. And that ensures that your body is nicely twisting. The upper torso is twisting. The mid back is twisting. And you hold it. And for these kind of twists, I think any kind of chair should work. For more advanced poses, I highly recommend to use this metal chair and none of the other chairs out there, because I've had accidents before. I've tried many different chairs myself, and it's dangerous to use anything else in the advanced poses, not in these poses. Okay, so here we go. And relax. So we are almost here for 2 minutes. And turn around, come to the front, and now we're going to do the other side. So sit pointing in that direction, get your nice 90 degrees here, and make sure your right thigh is against this inclined plane of the chair. Grab, and then put your heel of the palm on the other side of the back and push it. And this guy, grab it and pull it and rise at the same time. If you're doing this, no good. You have to push like this. Put your hips forward and rise. Make your chest nice and wide and open, and then start twisting. And then you may want to even twist your neck and look from the side of the eye. You should be able to see your shoulder and beyond on the right side. Very good. Okay, and we'll do one more deeper position after this of twisting. So we are 1 minute and 30 seconds in here. I think that's pretty good. And relax. Okay. Now, this is a little tricky. If you have a chair, you know how you wear your pants. Take the chair, tilt it. So take the chair, tilt it, and then put your right leg in, put your left leg in, pull the chair, and then sit. Tilt the chair. Yeah, there you go. Tilt it as much as you can, Sandeep. There you go. Perfect. Very nice. All right. So sit comfortably here. Now we're going to go into a little bit of deeper twist here. So now what you're going to do is with your right hand, grab the entire seat, the back of the seat. Okay. You grab it so that you get a nice grip on this side and push yourself a little bit in, and then grab the other side. You see this side here? Grab the other side, other corner with your left hand. And this thing will ensure that this leg is not going to go beyond, and this thing is going to pull. And your goal is to see if your chest can completely become parallel to your thighs, or if I draw a line from the shoulder to shoulder, it should sort of cut between your feet. Okay, that's the goal. All right. So if you cannot do it, if you're just here, that's also fine. Don't go too extreme. Just hold it in the middle of the chair seat. But if you want to do it really, you grab it, the extreme corner, and then twist and look back. So these are all preparations for Machindrasan, Ardha Machindrasan. And you twist. And after that, we will do a floor twist. Those who don't have the chair, I'm sorry about that, but I think we've always used chairs in this class. So I really highly recommend that you invest in this chair. It is extremely beneficial for those who have any injuries you cannot sit down. And so then at any age group, you should be able to do these simple twists. Okay, so there we go. Now, relax. We were here for 2 minutes, which is pretty good. We added 30 more seconds to it. Now turn around and sit in the other direction. You don't have to do it. I have to do it because I have to face the camera. Okay, now get your heel at the bottom leg inside. Okay, not outside. Don't put it outside. Put it inside like this. And spread your feet apart, both the thighs, so that they are restricted by this bar. And then sit kind of on the edge a little bit. Grab this, grab the other side. Now you'll see that the body will twist better in one direction and it will have more resistance in the other side. Okay, so we're trying to balance the body. So you'll realize that I'm a little stiffer on this side. I cannot twist more on the right side. So I'm not even grabbing the other corner of the chair or the seat, but make sure that your body is straight. That is more important, so that you're not doing this or not leaning backward. That's what most of the time happens when you're doing Ardha Machindrasan. People tend to lean backward or they lean to go forward. But the true pose is that you have a 90-degree there and you're 90-degree here, and then you're twisting. So pull yourself up, pull, widen your chest, and then twist. And see how far you can go. And don't go too far because we are holding these poses. So just relax. This should be you don't want to push into the realm of acute pains or unbearable pains. These should be like pleasurable pains, pleasurable twists. So that this time that you're investing becomes more joyful. The idea is that sthiram sukham asanam. So you sthiram, that means you stay in the pose. Sukham, that the pose gives you a little bit of happiness, a little bit of joy. And then you just enjoy this. It becomes like a part of your daily routine, that you basically just do this for the joy of yourself. Somebody asked Tulsidas why he was writing Ramayana. Why was he writing Ramayana? And it said, Swanta Sukhai, Tulsi Raghunatha Gatha. That's all. Just for the self enjoyment, self joy, self pleasure, whatever you want to call it. self-happiness, self-contentment. Swanta Sukhaya Tulsi Raghunatha Gatha. So you do yoga for your own benefits, for your own joy. There's nothing to be too proud of, nothing to show off here, nothing to be like, see how well I can do this. None of that. You're just doing it. This is a very, very private way of doing yoga. You find a spot every day, you sit there and do your yoga, pranayam, and meditation, and then start your routine. You know, it's a very, very introverted thing. The West, unfortunately, has made it into a performing art. The West has unfortunately distorted it. It has lost the sanctity of yoga for some reason. I know these are big allegations and big accusations, but unfortunately, it is true in most of the cases. This is not a display exercise. This is not a performing art. This is not a circus of any kind. It's a serious inward journey. It's a serious evolution from instinct to intuition. It's an inward journey, dive deep into your psyche, resolve by observation only. See, the mind cannot resolve its own problems. It's impossible. You know, it's really impossible because it's you using the same mind to solve its own problem. It's so how is it? It's counterintuitive. The what is intuitive is to observe the mind and body, and then the mind automatically loses energy and it completely calms down. And in that calming is the resolution of the problem. The problem is we are the problem. The mind is the problem. And the moment you sort of drop all of that doership out of the mind and you just start observing the mind loses the energy as though you stop biking, you know, you stop pedaling the bike and it goes for some time, you know, 100 feet, 200 feet, and then it loses its momentum and slowly it comes to a complete standstill. And when it comes to a complete standstill, the time stops and you go beyond the mind. So these are some of the very basic and very fundamental goals of yoga. You know, it's not about any kind of performance. Performance is in on the stage, is on the in the circus. Okay, there you go. So we stopped here. Now, how to get out of this? So you stand up just like you did, pull the chair down beyond below your knee and just step out of it. Okay. Now we're going to do a twisting on the floor. And how do you do that? We get into Bharadwajasana. And Bharadwajasana is nothing like, you know, you've seen Gandhi seating and giving talks in those old black and white films. That's how you sit. So you put both of your knees sideways and you rest your butts. Okay, see if you can rest your butt. This is how Gandhi used to sit most of the time while doing the charkha or, you know, giving a talk to the people. And he was very comfortable with that. Now, what are you going to do? I'm just going to find some space here. So I'm going to turn around like this. All right. Now, I'm going to twist, twist. Okay, so now I'm leaning that way. I know that. And what you're going to do is now you're going to go down at, so if my leg is pointing in this direction, my chest needs to point 90 degrees to it, okay? And that will need twisting out here. And how do you achieve that? Now, this is basically just using gravity to twist, okay? So here we go. You come down and spread your arms. Keep spreading them. Keep spreading and come down, come down, come down. And see if you can put your chest down. And spread your arms just like we were doing earlier and feel the twist. Make sure your left leg doesn't stretch out. And relax. And you'll realize that slowly, slowly, both of your shoulders will eventually touch the mat. Put your chin down. Very good. Very good. Okay. Gently come up. So here is one more prop that you can use if you have a bolster at home. You can keep the bolster in this direction. For those who cannot go all the way down, you can keep the bolster and hug the bolster. Okay, that's another technique that I learned from Iyengar. So we do the opposite side. All right. So sit in Bharadwaj So Bharadwaj is basically putting both of your feet this way. You're sitting, your sits bones need to be on the ground, and you basically twist like this. That's the Bharadwaj But this is like I'm leaning backwards. I'm not perfect. So perfect position could be like this, and then you twist so that your spine is straight, it's perpendicular to the ground. So now I bring myself in that position, and then I go down, I take my arm down, 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 and then put your chest down. If this is difficult, you can put your elbow down first, like this, and then spread your left palm out and put your entire chest down and relax. This is a more challenging twist because the gravity is continuously acting on you. There's not even 1 second that it's not acting. Versus when you're doing your own pulling, sometimes you tend to relax, you pull, you relax, you pull, but the gravity is ruthless. Gravity becomes sort of your guide. And relax. Make sure your chin is on the ground. See if you can stretch your arms even further out. Slowly, slowly, you can inch them away. Very good. And slowly come up. All right. All right. So I think with that, we did more different exercises than last time. Last time we have done, I can't even remember, but it's all on YouTube if you want to watch. So it's 8:10, and I think we should do some pranayam. And so sit comfortably elevate yourself on a cushion like this, a little bit, or on your yoga block, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay, so sit cross-legged or sit in Ardha Padmasan, Padmasan, Sukhasan, Swastikasan, whatever you feel comfortable. So I always mention these names, but what do they really mean? Okay, so we always do the Ardha Padmasan. So when you do the Ardha Padmasan, you tuck your heel into the perineum and then put the right leg on top. All right, so left leg goes in and the right leg goes out. Okay, so that's that. Sukhasana is nothing but we always sit cross-legged like this. That could be a version of Sukhasana. The other version of Ardha Padmasana people do is just keep the feet out like this, but the heel is still in the perineum and you're kind of leaning on it. Okay, so that could be another version of it. If you cannot put it on all the way on your thigh, you can just tuck it on your shin out here, or on. And then what you can do is you can take your skin out here and pull it outward. Okay, and you create a nice seat like this, and then put your leg on top of that if you cannot do the full Ardha Padmasana. Okay, there you go. So that's that. And then the Swastikasana is you cross your shins like this, and then you let them go down so that this is almost 90 degrees right here. If you look at the plan view of it, my leg is at 90 degree and that leg is almost at 90 degree. All right. So, and then what happens is this knee comes and rests on that leg down there or foot down there, and this knee will rest on that one. So you are nicely supported and your back is straight. Okay. So these are some of the versions how you can sit for the pranayama. All right, there we go. I prefer to sit in the Ardha Padmasana. Okay, and if you have your knee kind of floating upward like this because the leg is not stretched enough, you can just tuck a little block underneath here and support it. And I know it kind of sounds weird that why are we using all these props and all that. I kind of resisted for years to use them. But later on, I started realizing that they do work. Okay, they do relax your muscles. When you're relaxed, the muscles sort of stretch better. Because what happens is, if you don't support it, then there's always this tension inside. And that tension basically doesn't allow it to stretch because your body is trying to pull back. So if the moment you support it, all that tension drops. And in that dropping, the muscles relax. So after a while, if you take the block out, your body will kind of go down. All right. Okay, here we go. So let's start with single nostril Kapalabhati. Okay. So either you do this or you do the Vishnu Mudra and close your right nostril. Sit erect, spine erect, neck erect, chin parallel to the ground, and exhale fully with both nostrils. Close the right. And with the left nostril, we'll count 100. So you breathe in, breathe out, you're doing abdominal Kapalabhati. You're using your six-pack muscles to kind of push. So you're blowing your nose, you blow the nose and relax, blow the nose and relax, blow the nose and relax. Okay. Exhale fully. Breathe in half the lungs. Sit in Chin Mudra on one side and begin. Hold the air out Let's start breathe in. And take a deep breath. Now, when we do the second side, if you realize that this nostril is a little bit blocked, instead of sitting in chin mudra, you use the same chin pinch and hold the outer edge of the nose like this and pull it out. And while closing this side at the same time. Only if this is blocked, whichever is blocked, you pull it out and then do the one side. Because normally we are breathing heavy on one side, either on the left side or the right side. It's typically not the same, typically, all right? It all depends on the phases of the moon and there's a bunch of things, okay? So I don't want to go in that depth on this one, but it depends on the prahar of the day, the time of the day, and the phases of the moon, in which nadis are stronger and less active, okay? So that's all guided by the stuff out there, okay? So it also is guided by the heat of the body. So there are many factors influencing which nostril. So you can also put your hands like this and sit comfortably like this for about a minute, and it will balance both the nadis. Okay, I don't know how it works, but it does. And you will soon realize that the block nadi, the block nostril, will sort of free itself. So this is called the Pada Dirasana. Okay, so that's something you can try on your own time. Close your left, and we're going to do the same thing with the right side. So see, I'm already feeling that my right is a little heavier, and it's going to be tough even using the tummy muscles. So I'm going to grab the outside edge of my nostril and open it up. So here I'm going to blow the nose out first, breathe in half the lungs, and then I'll start breathing rapidly. Hold the breath out. And take a deep breath. So we just opened up both the nadis, Ida and the Pingala. And we're going to do both the nostrils now. So we'll do another 100 counts right here. Exhale fully. Breathe in half the lungs and begin. Hold the breath out. And breathe in. And pay attention to all the tingling sensations all over the body. The body is kind of throbbing in one side. A few spots might be throbbing with your heartbeat. And at the same time, there will be very subtle sensations. Like you see the grass in the wind, and the grass kind of develops this kind of texture with the wind. That kind of subtle sensations you will feel on the body. And some parts of the body will be gross sensations. And we just hyperventilated the body. The oxygen is going into every nook and cranny. Every little cell is flooded with oxygen. And it is dancing. All the cells are dancing that create this beautiful cosmic dance. Very subtle. Observe. The tendency of the mind is to say, I love this thing, I like it, I want this more. And let's not succumb to that craving of the mind. Let's just observe dispassionately, like we observed the pain. We observe this subtle sensation with the same dispassionateness. Makes no difference whether it is subtle or pleasurable pain. Both are equal. And when we maintain this equanimity of the mind, magic happens. We become one with the existence. And we are in perfect balance. Perfectly balanced, the yin and the yang, the Ida and the Pingla, and the equanimity of the mind. Maintain that perfect balance of the mind, equipoised. Just observe that beautiful dance. At the same time, observe if there is some displeasure, discomfort. Observe with the same equanimity. This is the duality of life, where there is pleasure, there is displeasure, there is discomfort. Take a deep breath. Join your hands to the heart center. And be in the Anjali Mudra. So your hands are going to drop down like this. Take a deep breath. And observe that the Om is comprised of three primordial sounds. Ah being the most primordial. Then we shift to oo and the ma. None of these sounds really need the tongue to be engaged. The tongue can rest the base of the mouth. And as we say ah, you will realize that the vibrations in the body are below your navel. And as we say ooh, just by closing the mouth, slowly, slowly, the vibrations will start shifting above the navel. And as we say ma, when we close the lips, the vibrations will transfer into your brain. And that's the journey. So focus your attention to the navel for now and take a deep breath. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidikena yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram shankha chakra sidharinam sahasrara shirasam shvetam pranamami patanjalim. Hari Om. Rub your palms. How's everybody doing?